Hello, my name is Nadim Sharif. I am from cohort WD2401C. This is the video for Module 2 coding challenges. In this challenge, I have to solve 5 coding problems out of the pool of 25 problems. I have created my GitHub gist and selected 5 problems. Let's move over to GitHub gist. So, the first question we are going to solve is the power of 2. In this question, we have to determine the given number is power of 2 or not. How would we know if the given number is power of 2 or not? So to tackle this question, we can do is subtract, determine the and bitwise and operator of the given number and one less than that number. If that equal to 0, then the given number will be power of 2. In the given code with errors, what we can see is n is greater than 0 or the condition to check the power of 2. If the error with this code is the checking n is greater than 0. If we say n is greater than 0 and or, that means every positive integer will be the power of 2, which is wrong. So to correct this, we have negate the condition. We are checking if n is less than 0, then we are returning false, which means all the negative numbers are not power of 2, and we are checking the condition n, the given number, and less than that, and we are determining the bitwise AND operator. If it is equal to 0, then the given number n will be the power of 2. Moving over to the second question, which is sort people. Height based talent show sorting. Mac is organizing a talent show in her community and needs to arrange the participant using sort people function. The function takes two arguments, an array of names and array of height. The function should sort the name in descending order based on their corresponding height. However, Mac is unsure how to use the sort people function. Now Mac wants to start the participant name in descending order based on their height. So we have the given input as names, name array and height array, and we have to determine which is the uh, tallest, then the second tallest and the shortest. So Mary is the tallest because she has 180. When it is greater than 170 and 165. Then comes Emma because 170 is greater than 165. We have to sort the height and map it with the corresponding name. So the code is given here with errors. So let's examine this code. First, we are declaring the length, and we are taking length array dot height dot length. Uh, the first line is will throw an error because length is the property of array, any array. It is not a function to be called. So in the correct solution, we have to remove the calling of the length. Then we are creating a map and running it over the height, and we are creating a new map with current height and name, and we are sorting the height, and we are running a for loop and pushing it in the pushing the heights in the result and returning the result. So the only error here is calling the length, because its length is not a function on an array, it is a property of an array, so we don't have to call it like an function. Third problem will be the is palindrome problem. Okay, so in this question we will give the number input, then we have to determine if it is a palindrome or not. When any number will be palindrome is if we write it from start to end and end to start, it should be the same like 121, and if we reverse it, it will also be 121. it is a palindrome. And 36 is not a palindrome because 36 and reverse 63 is not same. 33 will be the palindrome because 33 reverse is also 33. So first approach is given here, and the first approach uses the modulo function to take the remainder and add the remainder with multiplying by 10. So it will check backwardsly by multiplying the number by modeling the number with 10 and add multiplying by 10 and adding the remainder. So but we have asked to write it using the two pointers approach. Two pointer approach is where we declare two pointers which go from left and right and check if it is a palindrome or not. So first what we will do is convert the given number into a string. We can do it by dot to string method. We are storing it in the str const. Then we are declaring two pointers left and right. Left will be the starting point and right will be the rightmost element of the string, rightmost character of the string. Then we are looping with the while loop, and it will loop until and unless left side is less than the right side. uh, we are checking if the left side is not equal to right side. If both are equal, then we are returning false. And we are if both are not equal, then we are returning false. If both are equal, then we are incrementing the left and decrementing the right, because the left will go from 0 1 2 so on, then right will come from last most to the rightmost to the leftmost, like n minus 1 n minus 2. If and all the elements is equal to one another, then we will return true. If any one element does not equals to true, then we will return, if does not equal to each other, then we will return false. Okay, third question is max count. So in this question we will given the input the number array. Then we have to determine the how many positive integers are there and how many negative integers are there, and we have to return the maximum of both. The given an array number sorted in non-descending order, return the result of the maximum count function applied to the number of positive integers and the number of negative integers in the number array. In other words, if the number of positive integers is positive and the number of negative is negative, then calculate max count and return the result. And we have given a note that 0 is neither positive or negative, so we can ignore the 0. In the first example, we have 3 negative numbers, 3 positive numbers, the output will be 3. And in the second example, we have 3 negative numbers, 2 positive numbers, 0 can be ignored. So we will return 3 because 3 is the maximum. Okay, so how would I solve this problem? I would first declare the two variables. One will be the positive count and second will be the negative count. And I will increment the positive count if I encounter any number which is greater than 0. And I will increment the negative counter when I encounter any number which is less than 0. If it is equal to 0, we can ignore it. It will be the time complexity of big O of n because we are running loop over all the elements. So let's declare a function with max count with two variables, positive count and a negative count, and then we are running a traditional for loop from 0 to length and incrementing I by 1. If the current number is greater than 0, then positive we increment the positive count. If the number is less than 0, then we increment the negative count. And in JavaScript we have math.max method which will return the maximum of both counts. Last problem. Here we have given the two approaches and we have to share our perspective on both the approaches. One will be the traditional approach, one secondary will be the optimized approach. And the question is find pair with given sum. Write a JavaScript function find pair with sum that takes an array of integers array and a target sum n as input. So we have given two variable as input, array and n. Array is array of numbers and n is the target sum. The function should return an array containing the pair of numbers that add up to the target. If no such pair exists, return empty array. Okay. So here we are given the input array, this array and 12. So we have to see which two numbers add up to 12. Here 3 and 9 add up to 12. So we return 3 and 9. So the first traditional approaches go with two for loops. This is the easiest way to implement the question, the solution, but it will be of time complexity of big O of n square, which is not good. It will consume more time because it is looping over the array two times. First, it is checking the first number and the number after that. So let's see what these two loops are doing. First one, it is our traditional for loop, which is running from 0 to length minus 1 and incrementing by 1. Then our second loop is continuing with I plus 1 and array length and incrementing the j1s. And if we are adding the first and second number and if checking the it is equal to the target sum, if it is equal to the target sum, then we are returning the array with both the values. This is the traditional approach. It is easy to implement, but it consume a lot of time because it is time complexity is big of n square. And in the optimized approach, we are using a hash map uh, object of the JavaScript. Then we are running a only single for loop, which means its time complexity will be big O of n. It will be the linear time complexity. If the number of input increase, the time complexity will also increase. So in this for loop, what we are doing is we are running this for loop from 0 to the length and incrementing it by 1. Then we are storing the difference of target sum and the current value. And if we are checking that the current number is present in the our hash map. If it is present, then we are returning the difference and current index. If it is not, then we are storing the current difference as true. This will solve our problem. If we don't find any such pair, then we are returning the empty array. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to create this video. I am Mohammad Nadeem Sharif from cohort WD2401C.